Reconnect and heal today. Welcome to Love Never Dies with Dr. Jamie Turndorf.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Love Never Dies Radio and Dr. Turndorf, Turn on the Love on Binge Networks television. So I have a question for you. Do you feel like a race car that can't make one more lap around the track? Or could you use more energy to get through your day? Well, energy is the key to well-being and happiness and creativity, and so often you forget about how important energy is because you're just so caught up draining your energy in your busy daily life. But stopping and harnessing your energy is critical to your vitality, and your vitality is the key to your health, your happiness, and your success. So today we're going to really be diving into energy and how you can master your body IQ. Karen Atkins, creator of Master Your Body IQ, has helped thousands of busy students around the world bust stress, build vitality, and realize their true purpose with simple strategies that anyone can use. She's been featured on TED Talks and Good Morning America. She's an award-winning musician, combining energy-building tools and music for healing. Awards include the John Lennon Songwriting Contest, POSI Music Awards, and the Global Music Award. And her music has been included in multiple feature films, including Winona Ryder's movie, Boys. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Karen Atkins. So happy to have you.
So great to be here.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun just in the few minutes before we went on air. We already just got really into the deep end. We were talking about, energy being everything. And you mentioned to me that your best friend just left her body, and the energy of her soul essence is with you. So,
yep.
And she's helping you launch your new online course. So describe a little bit about the expansion of your own discovery that the energy continues in our.
Yeah, she is definitely teaching me. In fact, the week after she left her body, we wrote a song together. In fact, the day after she left her body, I was communicating with her. And by the way, I just will say that this is not something that is common for me. Even though I've been on a deep spiritual path for many years, and so was she, I have never communicated or received this kind of communication from anyone who's left their body before. So it was a big deal for me, and a lot of lessons. So the morning after she left, I was lying in bed and I was just tuning in, and I could feel her presence so strongly. It was absolutely undeniable. And the first thing she said is, you need to write a song called She Rises. And it needs to be about my transition, and how basically the chorus of the song is, though she rises alone, they'll be welcoming her home. And the whole point being, there really is no such thing as death. And basically she was kind of priming me, I think, to be teaching me a lot of lessons, which has been happening since March when she left her body. So it's been absolutely amazing.
So she's come through to you through what we call thought induction or mind melding. She just pops in as a thought, gives you a message.
Yeah, that's one of the things. She's also sent animals, spiders. I had an experience where, a spider was crawling very fast across my ceiling. And I actually live in Mill Valley, California, which, there's a lot of spiders here. But I've been living here for 10 years. And when I first moved in and I saw the spiders, I basically said to them, look, we're going to have a deal. You don't bother me, I don't bother you. If I see you and you're far away and you're not that big and you're not moving too fast, I will leave you alone. But the minute that you get any closer, or I get one bite or anything, you're out of here, okay? So we've kind of had this rule, and for 10 years, I'd never had any problem with them, defying that rule. I actually read an interpretation of the Tibetan Book of the Dead for Teresa, my friend, after she passed, and I felt her sitting with me, and after about 3 weeks, I actually felt her presence kind of not leave, but I was like, oh, she's like definitely connecting more deeply with the light at this moment. And I felt a sense of grief because she had been with me for those 3 weeks so strongly. And I felt her sitting with me, and we were kind of having conversations about what I was reading. And so, so that morning at the end of the reading, I burst into tears, and I thought, oh, I think she's gone now. And it was just another level of grief. And so that afternoon, I was sitting at my desk, and I see this big spider running very, very fast across my ceiling. And I'm going, this is not cool. Like, you need to go over there, like, you need to disappear. This is, you're scaring me now, and this is not cool. And it would not listen to me like they normally do. So it kept going all the way over my head and back to the window. And so I looked over at the window, and I thought, okay. And then it starts heading to the bookshelf. So I thought, okay, you're going to disappear into the bookshelf. No problem. That's cool. Then I kind of had one eye, because it was very big and it was moving very fast. And I had one eye on, and I see it coming back to the window. And then it goes back to the bookshelf. And I'm thinking, what is going on? Okay, hold on a second. So I'm looking up. I said, all right, I'm going to pay attention. What do you want me to see? And it stops right in front of Teresa's favorite book. And she's practiced a very beautiful practice called Eckankar for many years. And the book was called Stranger by the River. And it was her favorite book. And she always said to me, I want you to read this book, read this book, read this book. So finally, one year, I actually bought the book. And I started reading maybe a chapter or two, and then I put it aside, and I never finished it, but it sat in my bookshelf. And she had been communicating with me, like I said, also through hawks in different ways. So that was one thing. I just felt like, okay, whenever I see a hawk, I really felt her presence. So I pulled the book off the shelf. I said, okay, fine. I think I'm getting the message. You want me to read this book. So I pull it off, then the spider disappears. So I said, I'm busy right now, but I'll come back to it. And so a little bit later, I opened the book, because I was starting to feel that grief again. And I opened the book, and the chapter that I opened it to, random page, was called Beloved. And in the book, it says, I am always with you. God is always with you. Just behold the hawk in the sky.
There you go. The synchronicity. And you know what's so important about what you're saying? You, as aware and evolved as you are, you fell into the initial trap that most people do of believing they go somewhere.
Exactly.
They move into the light. They're gone. And what John said, don't leave me, Jamie. They don't leave us. We leave them because of all the indoctrination of what we're told, our earthly misconceptions. They go somewhere. They're in the dark matter, which is all around us, and they never go anywhere, So,
yep.
And she was showing you through the dark spider that I'm in the dark matter. I'm all around you. It's funny that we were saying before we went on air, you said, Hicks says, I didn't die, I croaked. And I said, well, on the Hay House radio show, that mother called up, and she was so grieving over her son. And I hear him say, frogs croak, I didn't. And right. And then I say this to her, and I'm mortified because it's a very insensitive joke. And she says, I can't believe it. This frog appeared on the night he left his body, and he's been sitting with us ever since. So I have this frog, Karen, who appeared, and he sits, I sleep outside every night. He sits on the cushion and looks at me and watches over me. And Jean said, wherever I am, I will always watch over you. So on Sunday night, he's got his two beady eyes next to mine, and I'm nose to nose with him. And I said, dude, everybody says I should kiss you and turn you into my prince, but I'm not going to do it. Just stay my frog. And I said, just one condition, like you made the condition with the spider. My condition is just don't poop. Because frog poop is like irritable bowel syndrome. It's a mess of diarrhea. And I had asked him 3 months ago to stop pooping, and I haven't seen a single poop. So I say to him, just don't poop, okay? Now he's up on the wall, and I'm lying on my back watching a movie, when all of a sudden I feel like the rain has somebody released a stream. My manager's going to crack up. We call releasing the stream when we start the radio and TV broadcast. Someone released the stream. He peed on me.
Oh, no.
I told him no pooping. So he said, but you didn't say don't pee.
Exactly.
I'm not kidding. And I'm like, you really pissed me off, Freddie. That's his now Howard Hughes is upon me, and I got to go shower. I'm afraid of germs and diseases. So I come back and I said, you really pissed me off. And he lands on me.
Oh.
And Tuesday night, I'm running my coach's training group. I train people in the transdimensional grief resolution method. And I said, I want to show you a photo of Freddie, but I can't seem to get the screen share to work. And so one of the women says, I don't think you're going to have to. I have a feeling Freddie's going to show up and introduce himself. With that, I hear plop. He lands on my shoulder.
Oh.
And he's looking into the camera. But this is like an extreme example. Our loved ones come through any way they can. Spiders, frogs, they speak to us directly. It's because it's all energy, right?
Yes.
The energy of the soul essence is free now to move wherever they need to go, to get through to you, to remind you, I'm still with you. I'm loving you now. I'm your guide. I'm your, you know.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's been so many messages. We could spend the whole time talking about this. Amazing.
I want to come back to your main topic because
Yes.
I want to, you know, showcase you, because you are the creator of something you call MBIQ.
Yes.
Can you say what that stands for?
Yes, it stands for Master Your Body IQ. And what we talk about is the intelligence of the body, because we are all born with the ability to have this innate wisdom. We all have an innate wisdom, and that's inside of us. And we also all have a certain amount of life force energy. You know, so before you were talking about, I know, how much energy we have and do we have enough energy? And both of these things are inborn, and we have them when we're born. Although the life force energy that we're born with is kind of unique in that we're not all born with the same amount. And so, and we also, it's this precious, basically, I like to kind of liken it to a trust fund, right? Like you have, right? So you have this bank account that's been given you. And unfortunately, we're not taught how to increase it. We're taught how to deplete it. And since we're not all born with the same amount, it can be more challenging for some people or others. So for example, if you were, let's say, the 8th child in your family, you're going to have less of this, what the Chinese call primordial chi, than the first, second, or third child, et cetera, because it actually takes life force to have a baby. And so as a parent, you're donating some of your life force, was primordial chi, or it's actually stored in the kidneys, so we can also call it kidney chi.
Yes.
And also, if your parents weren't healthy, or if they were a little bit older, they may have less of this primordial chi. So because we're not taught how to make it bigger, and we're actually literally taught almost from the minute that we're born how to deplete it, this becomes a massively challenging issue for pretty much every human on the planet. What
an excellent description, that you're born with a certain amount of primordial chi or kidney chi. And I know that this is true because, well, I was born 3 months early. And so that's an automatic depletion of kidney chi. And I went to France with my husband one year and saw an acupuncturist, and he said to me in French, "You're using more chi than you were born with." So he was describing what you're describing of, you're taking, it's sort of like if you use that financial and metaphor, more is going out of the bank than you're putting in.
That's right. And the thing is, I was talking to one of my students the other day, and she said, I always remember like 10 years ago when you taught this class and you said, when you run out of this primordial chi, you die. Right. And so she was kind of like, uh-oh. And she said that has stayed with me, and it's motivated me to study more, with you, with other people, just to learn, first of all, how to build it back, because we can do that.
It's interesting because how some people believe there's only a certain number of heartbeats that your heart has, so that if you can lower your heart rate, you're going to live longer because you're not using it up. And then I think some people even think that about ejaculation. Dr. Love has to go there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's the thing, which is very related, which you probably didn't realize. So liquids are something called Jing. So Jing is like the essence, right? And kind of Jing comes sort of before Qi. So we have a certain amount of Jing, which is actually the essence that we're born with. And then from there, the Jing becomes Qi. And then they say when you cultivate more Qi, then that kind of leads to Shen, which is spirit. So actually, it's very difficult to be really connected to your spirit if you're lacking Qi, because the more Qi you have, the more it's easy to connect. Or imagine if you don't feel well, right, and you're depleted, it's harder to make that connection. But so Jing, so is all fluids are Jing, which means semen, blood, lymph, all the liquids in the body make up this essence that we are born with. And so, yes, when we lose too much, sweat is also Jing. So when we sweat too much, or, you know, as women, we have a challenge because we lose blood every month when we menstruate for many, many years.
We're losing a lot of fluid.
We're losing some Jing. And so it's even more critical. So it's not like you just get that amount and then it just sits there. No, we use it up because we're living, and modern life is making it be used up much more quickly.
So let me just ask you one thing. Since you say that it's sort of like if you're a trust fund baby, you're born with a big trust fund and it's there. And some people are born with less. So you're saying the amount that you're born with is a fixed amount. You can't add to that?
You can, and that's the thing. But there aren't a lot of ways for you to do that. So because and the thing is, a lot of people think that they say, oh yeah, no, when I want energy, I just go to the gym, right? That is a very common thing. Well, that's
you're actually draining.
That's right. Depends, but you can be draining your energy. So certain forms of exercise drain your energy,